Good evening. Please come to IAS 24 again. So, right now we are discussing paragraph number 9b. Which entities are related parties? Under that, first we have seen entities and reporting entities are member of the same group. So, all holding subsidiary, fellow subsidiary will be related parties of each other. In second case, it is associate or joint venture of another entity, or associate or joint venture of a member of a group of which the other entity is a member. So, associate and joint venture of subsidiaries, associates and joint venture of parent, associate and joint venture of fellow subsidiaries will also become related parties. And then both entities are joint venture of the same third party. Next is one entity is joint venture and one entity is associate of the same third party. Now the fifth condition. So for this, first you draw this diagram. In point number 5, the entity is a post-employment benefit plan. The entity is a post-employment benefit plan for the benefit of employees of the entity or an entity related to the reporting entity. If the reporting entity itself is such a plan, the sponsoring employers are also related to reporting party. Now suppose there are two employee benefit plans: post-employment benefit plan, employee benefit trust A, employee benefit trust B. This employee benefit trust A is for the benefit of employees of entity H, and this employee benefit trust B is for the benefit of employees of subsidiary S. So now these two will become related party of H. This is for the benefit of H itself, and this is for the benefit of employees of subsidiary who is related party of reporting H. When I look at from subsidiary S point of view, trust B is a related party. It is directly for the benefit of employees of S. Trust A is also a related party. It is for the benefit of employees of H, who is a related party of S. So both trust A and trust B are related parties of H and S. So write down this note: employee benefit trust A and B are related party of H as well as S. This is not very important, don't worry. But in one question, this adjustment will be asked. This point number 9b5 will be asked in one problem later. Point number 6. What is point number 6? The entity is controlled or joint controlled by a person identified in para 9a. Now the arm of the standard is very wide. Mr. A or close member of his family, they have control over B. Okay, so Mr. A and close member of B, they are related under paragraph 9a1. Agreed? And if the same Mr. A or close member has either control or joint control over other entity, from point of view of B, identify whether C is a related party. from point of view of B, C is a related party because C Limited is that entity over which person identified in 9A have joint control. Now look at the question from C's point of view. You are here. C is reporting entity. Mr. A exercise joint control over C. So they are covered under 9B1, 9A1. Now you have to see whether B is a related party of C. B is a related party of C. Why? Because Mr. A, that is person identified in 9A, has control over that other entity. So C will say B is also my related party. Okay. Okay, now you tell me Mr. A has significant influence over B and Mr. A has control over C Limited. Whether from B's point of view, whether C Limited is a related party. Yes, because Mr. A has significant influence over B. So here 9A2 is applicable. So 9A must be there. Any of the 9A. He has control over other entity. So therefore C will become related party of B. Okay, answer one more. Mr. A has significant influence over B. Mr. A has joint control JC over C. From B's point of view, whether C is a related party, yes, Mr. A or his close family member is key management personnel of B and has control or joint control over C Limited. Whether C is a related party of B, the answer is yes, because KMP will be covered under 9A3. Is it right? So these are the related party relationship possible under this paragraph 9B6. Okay. Now 9B7. What is 9B7? A person identified in 9A1. A person identified in 9A1. Right there 9A1. Who is 9A1 party? That is person who has control or joint control. So first of all, that person must have control or joint control, must have significant influence over the entity. Must have significant influence over the entity. So first I will interpret up to this. Mr. A has assumed control or joint control. You draw this diagram over A Limited, or I will write B Limited. Mr. A has control or joint control over B Limited, Mr. A or family, and Mr. A has significant influence over C Limited. Now here Mr. A is related because of 9A1. Whether C is a related party of B. C is related party of B under 9B7. Whether B is a related party of C. Previous paragraph. Person identified in 9A. This is 9A3. Person identified in 9A has control or joint control over other entity. So C will say B is my related party under 9B 6 under 9b6. Then let us read this line completely. This is one diagram. A person identified in 9a1 has significant influence over the entity or is a member of the KMP of the entity or is a member of the KMP of the entity. So let us say Mr. A or his close family member has control or joint control or joint control over B Limited. So they are covered under 9A1. And then there is another entity C where Mr. A or close family member is KMP. The question in the exam is C Limited related party of B? Is C Limited a related party of B? The answer is yes. From B's point of view, C is related party under 9B7. 9B7. Whether B is a related party of C? B is a related party of C under which clause? 9B6. Person identified in 9A3 9A has control or joint control over the other entity. So this way you will identify the related parties. This is second example. What is one more thing they have said? Person identified in 9A1 has significant influence over the entity. This is the example of significant influence, or a member of KMP of the entity, or a member of KMP or of the parent of the entity. So Mr. A or close family members have control or joint control over B. Then there is a company C Limited. Then there is a company D Limited. D Limited is parent of C Limited. And Mr. A is KMP of D Limited. Is it right? Now the interesting question is whether C Limited is related to B Limited. C is related to B because Mr. A is a key management personnel of the parent of the entity. So B Limited will say C Limited is related to me under 9B7. Why I have written 8? 9B7. Okay. Whether D is also related to B? D is also related to B because D is an entity over which Mr. A, who is identified in 9A1, has KMP relation. So D is also 9B1, 9B7. So parent and its subsidiary both will become related party. And what about C's point of view? Whether C will call B Limited as a related party. C will call. Why? 9B6. For C, B Limited is related party under 9B6 because Mr. A is a KMP of parent. Remember paragraph 9 A3 is a member of the key management personnel of the reporting entity or of the parent of the reporting entity. So person identified in 9A has control over other entity. So 9B6 is applicable for C Limited. Whether D Limited will call B Limited a related party? Yes. Situation of D versus B is like this case only, case 2. Is it right? So D will also say B is my related party. Person identified in 9A is having control or joint control. Noted? Okay. 3 diagrams. Now next question is 8 point. Point number 8 again not very important. The entity or any member of a group of which it is a part provides key management personnel services to the reporting entity or to the parent of the reporting entity. So let us say A Limited is an entity. We will call it reporting entity. And there is a X Limited. X Limited provides key management personnel KMP services. That means they help in management, key management personnel services. All key decision making are provided by this entity. Management services. There are some entities which provide you management services. Then whether A and X are related party? Yes. Now here it is providing directly KMP services to A. So A Limited will say X Limited is my related party. Second is there is an entity A, there is an entity B. Who is B? Parent of A. And there is X Limited. X Limited provides key management personnel services to B. We are in the books of A. A is reporting entity, RE, reporting entity. Whether X Limited is a related party of A. X Limited is related party of A. Because it is providing key management services to parent of the entity. So this is about entity. Which is the entity we are talking here? X. Which is the reporting entity we are talking here? A Limited. Now third one is more complicated. The entity or member of the group of which it is a part provides KMP service to reporting entity or to a parent of reporting entity. So A Limited is an entity. Y Limited is an entity. X Limited is an entity. Y Limited is subsidiary of X. Y Limited is subsidiary of X. Okay, in our question, A Limited will remain reporting entity. Y Limited is providing KMP services to X. Y Limited is providing KMP services to A Limited, not X, sorry. Whether A and X are related party. Y is a subsidiary of X. So they belong to same group. Okay. X is a member of the same group to which Y belongs. Do you agree? So if any member of that group provides KMP services to A, then that entity will also become related party. So you will say X Limited is related party of A. And what is the fourth complicated situation? A Limited Y Limited, X Limited, B Limited, somewhere here I will write. This Y Limited is providing KMP service to whom? B, parent of A. Who is B? B is parent of A. And who is Y? Y is a subsidiary of X. Subsidiary of X, write down. Subsidiary of X. Question is whether X and A are related party. The entity or a member of the group to which it is a part. So Y Limited is a member of that group of which X is a part, provides KMP services to the reporting entity that we have covered in third point, or to the parent of the reporting entity. So a member of this group is providing the management services, top management services to B Limited, which is a parent of A. X Limited will become related party of A. X will be related party of A. Because these people who provide management services are in a position to influence. Now we will test your knowledge. Ready for the show. Mr. X hold, question 1, right there only. Mr. X holds 51% share of both A and B. Whether A and B are related parties of each other. Yes. Why? 9B? 9B1? No. Try again. Mr. X. Mr. X. Mr. X is related party because he controls A, he controls B. But my question is whether B is a related party of A. A is a related party of B. Under which clause? What is 9B6? I forgot. The entities controlled or jointly controlled by a person identified in 9A. 9A. So Mr. X is a 9A person and B is controlled or jointly controlled by Mr. X. So B is a related party of A, and for the same reason A is related party of B. So write one small paragraph there. By virtue of paragraph 9B6, an entity which is controlled or jointly controlled by a person by a common person or close member of person's family is related party to all other entities controlled or jointly controlled controlled or jointly controlled by that person or close member of his family or close member of his family or close member of his family. So this is 9b6. Okay, one more similar example on the screen. Solve question number 2. Mr. X holds 51% voting right of A. So Mr. X is related party of A, 9A1. And Mr. X holds 20% voting rights in B, 9A2. Okay. So this is 9A1, this is 9A2. Whether A and B are related parties of each other. So B is an entity, so we have to apply rule of entity. What is the link between A and B? Mr. X. From A's point of view, Mr. X is a party which falls under 9A1. A person falling under 9A1, does it have a significant influence over other entity? Yes. So from A's point of view, B is a related party under 9B7. Now from B's point of view, now first we'll see whether B and X are related. Yes. Under which clause? 9A2. So if it is 9A2, then you have to check 9B6 is applicable or not. So in 9B6 it says person identified in 9A has control or joint control over the other entity. So B will say A is my related party, but under clause number 9B6. Write down 2 lines there. For financial statement of A Limited, B Limited is a related party by virtue of paragraph 9B7. By virtue of paragraph 9B7. For financial statement of B Limited, A Limited is a related party by virtue of paragraph 9B6. By virtue of paragraph 9B6 of IAS 24. Okay. Now we'll test one more question from you. Mr. X and his close family members have investment in A Limited and B Limited. Together they hold 51% of the equity share capital of A and have joint control over B. Analyze related party relationship of A Limited and B Limited. So this is similar to question number 1, but this time it is control in one entity and joint control in another entity. So we took the problem of control and significant influence, and now control and joint control, whether they are related parties. Yes. So write down who are the related parties here. Write down for A Limited, Mr. X and his close family member, related party, RP. Reason, controlling family. Which clause is applicable here? 9A1, under 9A1. And for A limited, B limited is a related party. B limited is related party because it is an entity in which the controlling family enjoys joint control. So which clause is applicable for this 9B? 9B 6. 9B6 is applicable. Now in the same format right below, for B limited, Mr. X and his close family members. Related party. Controlling family. Same clause number write down. 9A1. 9A1. And A limited is a related party. Under clause number 9B 6. 9B6. Okay, now dear student, try the next question. Mr. X and his close family members have investment in A and B. Together they hold 20% equity share capital of A and 51% share in B. Analyze related party relationship of A and B. The problem is not same. Problem is changing. This time Mr. X and his close family members have significant influence over which company? A, and control over B. Is it similar to question number 2? So it's similar to 2 only. So the answer will also be similar. So write down Mr. X and his close family member for A limited. Related party, that is family having significant influence. 9A2. Similar to question number 2, you can skip it also. And B limited is a related party. Why? If they ask you the reason, it is an entity controlled by a family that enjoys significant influence in the reporting entity A limited. So this will be covered under which clause? Any guesswork? 9B? 9B6 or 9B7? 9B6. Okay, 9B6 is right. 9B6. Person identified in 9A has control or joint control over that entity. 9B6. Now write down for B limited. For B limited, Mr. X and his close family member, related party, reason controlling family, 9A1. 9A1. A limited is also a related party of B because A limited is an entity in which the controlling family enjoys significant influence. So which clause is applicable here? 9B7. 9B7. Person identified in 9A1 has significant influence. 9A7. Okay, now try this one. Mr. X and his close family members have investment in A and B. Together they hold 20% each in other two companies AB. AB are related parties or not? Vote that A Limited and B Limited are related parties. Vote. Those who say yes. A Limited is not related party of B? No. Sure. There is no control anywhere in the problem. At least one control should be there. Okay. Yes. So associate will not become related party. At least over one entity, Mr. X should have control or joint control. If you have only significant influence over both the parties, you can't really influence them in their mutual dealing. With 20% stake in each company, you can't really make them enter into a transaction. But if you have control or joint control over one of them, then yes, you have more power to influence them. So write down for A Limited. For A Limited, Mr. X and his close family members, related party, family having significant influence. So this is paragraph 9A2. And B Limited, right, not a related party. So why it is not a related party? It is an entity in which a family that enjoys significant influence, in reporting entity A has significant influence. And for B Limited also you copy paste the same thing. For B Limited, same as above. For B Limited, same as above. Have you written same as above? Mr. X and his close family members will be related party. But A Limited is not a related party. It is an entity over which the family enjoying significant influence over B also enjoys significant influence over A. Okay, written. Now your intelligence will be tested after those simple examples. A more complicated structure we will see now. Mr. X and his close family members hold 51% equity share capital of XYZ. Mrs. X. So who is Mrs. X? Close family member of Mr. X. Is a key managerial personnel in A Limited. Mr. X and his close family member hold 20% of equity share of B. Mr. X and his close family member hold 51% of equity share capital of C. B Limited is a subsidiary of AB. Analyze the related party relationship. Now first you see this diagram which I have drawn. You can draw in any other way for your understanding. There is Mr. A and his close family member holding 20% in B, 51% in XYZ, 51% in C. And then there is a company called A Limited in which Mrs. A, who is Mrs. A? Mrs. A is a close family member of Mr. A, is KMP of A Limited. And there is one more entity, AB Limited. AB Limited is parent of B. So really speaking, all of them are connected to each other in one or the other way. All of them are connected to each other in one or the other way. B Limited is connected to Mr. A and close family member because they are holding 20%. B is connected to AB. AB is directly parent of B. Then how B and XYZ are also connected? XYZ Limited is an entity over which person who exercise significant influence over B controls that other entity. How B and C are related? Same question. B and C are also related because a person exercising significant influence over B has control over that other entity. What is the relationship between B Limited and A Limited? Are they having some connection? They have connection, but then you have to identify whether there is a related party relationship or not. So B Limited and A Limited, there is Mr. A and close family member who exercise significant influence over B. One of the parties who exercise significant influence over B is a KMP of A. So whether A will become related party of B, whether A will become related party of XYZ, whether A Limited will become related party of C. Okay. Whether AB will become related party of A. So all this relationship you have to examine. So how many answers you have to write? 5. 5 for XYZ Limited. Whether these 4 entities are related parties or not. Then for A, B, C, AB. Right. Mr. A and close family members. Are they related parties of all these entities? That also you have to examine. That also you have to examine. Right. So 5 related party relationship you have to examine for each entity. Start. First write down for XYZ Limited. For XYZ Limited, let us see. One example I will show you how to present. A Limited. Is A Limited related party? Is A Limited related party? The answer is yes. Why? A Limited is that entity where a member of the controlling family is KMP. So which clause is applicable? 9B. 9B. 6 or 7? 9B, 6 or 7? 6 is entities controlled or jointly controlled by person identified in 9A, and 7 is person identified in 9A. So they are identified in 9A1. 9A1 has got either significant influence or is a member of the KMP or is a member of the KMP. So it fits into 9B7. 9B7. So once you are able to identify the paragraph number, later on you'll understand. So write down 9B7. A and XYZ are related. A Limited is related party of XYZ under clause 9B7. Now let us try B Limited. How is B and XYZ connected? So let me see the diagram. B and XYZ. Same, but this time we have significant influence. So write down entity in which controlling family enjoys significant influence. So the answer is same 9B 7. 9B7. 9B7. Okay, try C Limited. Now what is C and XYZ has to do with each other? This is the entity over which person identified in 9A1 has control or joint control. So we can say 9B6. 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 Now wait, don't copy. I have a doubt in this answer. What is the connection between XYZ and AB? AB Limited is a parent of entity B. AB Limited is parent of entity B. And who is B? B is an entity over which the controlling family have significant influence. So it does not fit into any of this. Why? Person identified in 9A1 have either significant influence over the entity, which is not the case, is a KMP of the entity, or is a KMP of AB. It is not a KMP of AB. Is it right? It is KMP. Had Mrs. A been KMP of AB, then it would have become related party. Okay. So my judgment for this answer is not a related party. Not a related party. Parent of the entity in which controlling family enjoys significant influence is not a related party. Parent of the entity in which controlling family member would have been a KMP, then it would have become related party. Okay, will you like to try A Limited? Try A Limited like I have done A Limited. You will write name of other 4 companies. For A Limited, is B, C, AB, XYZ, are they related party? Okay, now check the answer. In any sequence you write check. Is XYZ Limited related party of A? Why XYZ is related party of A? person identified in 9A has control over the other entity. So which paragraph is applicable? 9B6 is applicable. 9B6. Right, 9B6. Is B Limited a related party? Is B Limited related party? Now let me see the diagram. A Limited and B Limited, what is the connect? The person identified in 9A has only significant influence over B, then it is not applicable. So write down, not a related party. An entity whose KMP and her close family members enjoy only significant influence is not a related party. What about C and A? Okay, C and A. C and A. So A Limited has Mrs. A, person identified in 9A has control or joint control. So what is the answer? 9B6. 9B6. Right here, 9B6. 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 And what about A and AB? A and AB. AB is a parent of B over which the KMP and his close family members have significant influence. So therefore, AB is not a related party. So write down, not a related party. Parent of the entity in which KMP and her close family member enjoys significant influence is not a related party. Is it right? Now some more complication. Try B Limited yourself. B Limited. B Limited. Keep the diagram in front of you. Okay, I'll give you the diagram on the screen. Keep checking and check whether B, you are in the books of B now. B is reporting entity. Whether A, C, AB, XYZ are these related parties. Over. Check. You are checking it for B. XYZ. Is XYZ a related party? How XYZ is a related party? Let me see. XYZ is a related party. Mr. A and close family members exercise control over XYZ. Is it right? So which clause you have written there? 9B6. Right, 9B6. And what about A Limited? Is A Limited a related party? No. An entity whose KMP and her close family member enjoy significant influence is not a related party. Is C Limited related party? Same like XYZ. An entity which is controlled by a person and his close family members who enjoys significant influence in the reporting entity. So under which paragraph you have written? 9B6. 9B6. Now what about AB? AB is a direct parent company only. 9B1. 9B1. Okay. Now dear student, try C Limited. Keep looking at this diagram on the screen for your help. C and XYZ are almost in the same situation. Is it right? C and XYZ. So whatever you've written for XYZ, you can use it for C also. Done. Check. First, XYZ is a related party, an entity which the controlling family controls. So which section you have applied? 9B6. A Limited, an entity in which member of controlling families KMB. 9B7. Very good. B Limited. 9B7 again. Significant influence. 9B7. What about AB? Not a related party. Parent company of the entity in which controlling family enjoys significant influence is not a related party. Now try AB Limited. For AB Limited, AB Limited, is XYZ a related party? No. It is an entity which is controlled by a family which enjoys significant influence but in subsidiary. Okay. A Limited is also not a related party. It is an entity in which a member of a family which enjoys significant influence in subsidiary is a KMB. Okay. B is a related party. Write down 9B1 subsidiary, and C is also not a related party. C is an entity which is controlled by a family which has significant influence in subsidiary. So not a related party. XYZ and C Limited are similar situation. Probably they wanted to give you joint venture for C Limited. Is it right? So the question should have given C Limited is a joint venture. So one company is under control, one is significant influence, one is joint control. All entities we have done? Yes. Which is pending? All 5 we have written. Now, there is one more paragraph in your standard which has specifically given that subsidiary of the associate and subsidiary of the joint venture are also related party of the investor. So we have an associate. This associate has a subsidiary. Investor and this subsidiary of associate are also related party as given in the standard. Or suppose there is a joint venture. This joint venture has a subsidiary. Then this subsidiary of your joint venture is also a related party of the venturer. Subsidiary of joint venture is also related party of the venturer. In the definition of related party, an associate includes subsidiary of the associate and the joint venture includes a subsidiary of joint venture. Therefore, for example, an associate subsidiary and the investor that has significant influence over the associate are also related parties of each other. Now come to some key definitions. I will read some important ones. What is a related party transaction? What is a related party transaction? So we have identified related parties now. Related party transaction means a transfer of resources, services, or obligations between related parties. Resources, services, obligations, regardless of whether a price is charged. So sometimes they may not even charge a price. That is also a related party transaction. So services may have been provided free of cost. That is also a related party transaction. Welcome to IAS 24. Now, next is who are the close member of the family of an individual. Close member of the family of a person are those family members who may be expected to influence, that is, who may be expected to influence or who may be expected to be influenced by. Either this person can influence them or those other family members can influence this person. That person in their dealing with the entity. Okay. So either that person or those other persons can influence him in dealing with the entity. So they are called family members. And then this definition says and include. So inclusive definition. That person's children and spouse or domestic partner. What is this domestic partner? Don't know. Homework. Tomorrow you will answer. That person's children you have understood. Spouse means legally wedded person and domestic person is not legally wedded person but staying with the person is domestic partner. Then children of that person's spouse own children and children of the domestic partner also, then dependents of that person or that person's spouse or dependent of domestic partner. Suppose there is one person, Mr. A, so his dependents. Now they have used the word dependents, not parents, okay? Because IFRS is a globally accepted standard. Parents may not exist, dependents can only exist. Anything is possible. So, dependent. Then the spouse of the Mr. A, dependents. So, you can say in laws, okay? Mother in law, father in law. But again, not necessarily mother and father in law, dependent. Or it can be domestic partners dependents. So they are also covered. So the definition of the standard is very wide here when it comes to close family member. Now next is, what is the meaning of control, joint control and significant influence? Refer respective standard. This standard says don't come to me. Go to IFRS 10 to know what is control. Go to IFRS 11 for joint control. Go to IAS 28 for significant influence. Same meaning applies here also. Then who are the key management personnel? This is a very, again, subjective term. But then the standard have tried to bring specific, more objectivity in the definition. KMP are those persons who have the authority, power and responsibility to execute those things, okay? For planning, directing and controlling the activities of the entity, directly or indirectly, including any director, whether executive or otherwise, of that entity. Now this definition is very subjective. They have not specified who is that person, but normally following people will be assumed to be KMP. All directors, okay, all directors will be assumed to be KMP, whether executive or otherwise. So directors are called managing director, whole-time director, part-time director, independent director, chairman of the board of director. These are all related parties of the entity. Then CXO, designated employees. What is CXO? It can be Chief Executive Officer, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer, then in some companies Chief Technology Officer, Chief Investment Officer, or a similar designation. Okay, these are all related party, but there can be anybody else also who have authority, responsibility for planning, directing and controlling. Now when the standard was issued, people are asking, is the accounts manager also key management personnel, the one who looks after the accounts department? No. Why? He has got 10 employees under him. You have to do the sales booking, you have to do purchase booking, you have to maintain inventory record. So he's also controlling his area of work. But these people, accounts manager, store manager, purchase managers, now they are basically carrying out only those plans which have already been formulated at the top level. Okay, this is called routine planning and controlling. Whereas we are talking about strategic planning and controlling, long term planning. Otherwise, tomorrow the peon will come and say, put my name also in the key management personnel. I hold the key. If I don't open the door, factory will not start only on time. See how much planning I have to do, how much controlling. So the answer is no. Not everybody whose designation is manager, okay, senior manager, will come under this category, because in large company there are thousands of people with designation as manager, senior managers. Nowadays we give fancy designation so that people ego will satisfied and he will remain in the organization for a long time, although he do the same work which a first year articles do. Is it right? But then they are called associate, senior associate, and so many other names. But what he is doing? Same thing. What is significant influence? That again we have covered in IAS 28. Now we'll come to one important point. Who are not necessarily related parties? So tick mark a theory question or a case study. So where a lot of information will be given to you. And you have already seen when 5 companies were given, it was so complicated. So in a case study, they can give 10 more companies. Okay. And then you have to identify related parties. So following are not necessarily related parties. Although it seems that they influence the company to some extent, but they are not necessarily related parties. 2 companies having a director, other member of key management personnel in common. Suppose there is one Mr. Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is a director in A and he is CEO of B. Possible? Can he act as a director of A and CEO of B? Then the question is, just because Virat Kohli is common here as a director in one company and CEO in another company, will these 2 companies become related parties of each other? Say yes or no. The answer is no. This will not make them automatically related parties. Okay. Second, which again is very confusing, 2 venturers simply because they share a joint control over the joint venture. Okay. Suppose Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma, they are having a joint venture. Whether these 2 are related parties, whether venturers are related parties, the answer is no. The answer is no. Co-venturers are not related parties. Third is a single customer, supplier, franchisor, distributor, general agent with whom an entity transacts a significant volume of business merely by virtue of the resulting economic dependence. Okay. So suppose there is an entity A limited and there is an entity B. 80% of output of A is supplied to B. Okay. Whether A will become related party of B? The answer is no. Even though there is a lot of economic dependence of B on B, because B is your major customer. Practically, there are companies who supply 100% of their output to just one entity only. Reverse also, you may purchase all your input from another company. Or there can be franchisor, distributor, general agent kind of relationship. Now, here you can see there is an influence of other party on your business. B Limited has an influence over A. When B will give order, only then A will manufacture. Correct? When B will make payment, only A will have cash flow. But that does not make them related parties. And then there are other entities like those who supply finance, banks, financial institutions, trade unions, because they fix bonus and other things with the management. They decide the working hours, working environment. Public utilities like gas company, water company, electricity companies, don't they influence your business? Like in Maharashtra or Pune specifically, on Thursday there is no power supply. So are they not influencing your business model? Accordingly, the entities have decided that on Thursday we'll give an off to the staff and Sunday they will work. And then government agencies influence you a lot. But will they become related party? No. Okay. Now check whether this question is printed in your book somewhere in the cell practice part. Question number 7. So we have discussed who are related parties and who are not related parties. Is it right? Let us do some practice and then again some theory portion we will start. Question number 7. Entity P has a controlling interest in subsidiary A, subsidiary B, and subsidiary C. Subsidiary C is a subsidiary of subsidiary B. Then P Limited has significant influence over associate A1 and A2. Subsidiary SC Limited has significant influence over associate A3. My God. Examine related party relationship of various entities. So you can imagine what is the complexity of this chapter. Each of them you have to examine whether subsidiaries are related party. Yes. So let us look at from P's point of view. Point number 1, answer you see on the next below this. From P's point of view, SA, SB, SC are related parties because they are subsidiary. Then associates are related party. Under which clause? Associate, joint venture and associate. Is it 9B2? 9B2. Associate or joint venture are also related party. A3 is also related party. Associate and joint ventures of group entities are also related party. So P will say all these are related parties. Okay. What about subsidiaries A, B and C? How will subsidiary A, B, C identify related parties? So for all subsidiary parent companies related party under 9B1, for subsidiary B, subsidiary C, associate A3 is also related party. Will other associate be also related parties? Yes. Associates of group members are related parties. So check the answer for SA Limited P, SB, SC, PSB SC under 9A1 and A1, A2, A3 under 9B2, 9B1, 9B2. Is it right? Same thing applies for SB Limited, SC Limited. But what about A1, A2, A3? For A1, A2, A3, now be careful. For A1, who are the related parties? Parent is the related party. Okay, investor. Then subsidiaries, SA, S2, SBSC. All subsidiaries of the parent becomes a related party. But others associates will not be related parties. Other associates will not be related party. Same thing for A2 and same thing for A3. So that is written in the second last point. For the financial statement of associate A1, A2, A3, P Limited, SA Limited, SB Limited and SC Limited are related parties. And for the P Limited's consolidated financial statement is financial statement of parent and subsidiary presented as a single entity. Is it right? So in that case, in CFS, PSA, SB, SC becomes one entity. So the related party relationship will be only disclosed for A1, A2 and A3. Now we will take a break. Okay. So relax your mind. Some more complications are waiting for you.